Hey everybody, welcome back to the NC State Insider Podcast. I'm your host and lead beat writer for NC State on SI, Tucker Sennett, joining you here today to talk about your Wolfpack professionals in the National Football League. Just a few of them in some key moments this week in the NFL. Massive, massive weekend for the league, and a lot of ex-Wolfpack players in action. So let's dive into who might play, who might have a big role for their team in this short, quick update episode for you all. Starting with Arizona, Jacoby Brissett might get the start again as Kyler Murray continues to work his way back from that injury. Played really, really well for the Cardinals last week, had a chance to beat one of the NFL's best in the Indianapolis Colts. Um, I think if there's any doubt about Kyler Murray's injury status and ability to be 100%, then they will roll with Brissett after what they saw last week. I think that's the safe choice for Arizona, and Brissett proved that he could take it to one of the league's most effective defenses through the first few weeks. Also on the Cardinals, Bam Knight had a nice performance for Arizona last week. I expect with the situation there with DeMarcado and everything that's happening in their running back room with injuries and such, I expect Knight to get some more touches in that game. Moving on to Miami, this is a big one for Bradley Chubb, the outside linebacker, because his name is starting to heat up in trade conversations as Miami's season continues to spiral out of control. He's a guy that could get, some solid draft uh, capital for the Dolphins as they probably are entering sort of a rebuild phase. He's got a big matchup against the Browns this week. Can he improve upon his 4 sacks, 10 solo tackles, and one forced fumble this season, and really push that draft or that trade value up a little bit more and prove that he can be of value to a contending team? Those are all important questions. In Seattle, Drake Thomas is looking to build upon a career best performance in the eyes of PFF. He scored a 75.2 last week in his elevated role. Really, really excellent stretch for him since that Arizona game when he was kind of thrown into the fire on Thursday night. He's come up with a couple sacks. He's been a really, really solid addition to this Seattle defense that's been, I don't think, surprising to people who know how great of a coach Mike McDonald is on the defensive side of the football, but to casual NFL fans, Seattle's been a little bit of a revelation. And Thomas is, part of that long line of Wolfpack linebackers under Dave Doran. You got Isaiah Moore, you got Thomas, you got Peyton Wilson, who already played on Thursday night. Kind of a rough outing for the Pittsburgh offense, or sorry, the Pittsburgh defense, and Wilson played did what he did best, or did what he does best, which is tackle. And that defense is sort of falling apart right now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there moving forward. But Thomas is one of that group and is certainly proving his mettle at the next level. In Las Vegas, Jacoby Myers, ex-Wolfpack receiver, his status is a little bit up in the air. He's questionable to play. There's been a lot of trade talk about him over the last week or so. The Raiders are playing the Chiefs, and the way that Geno Smith's been playing, that's not a matchup that bodes super well for Las Vegas. And if they want to have any chance of winning this game, they need their number one wide receiver in Myers. And if Myers is sort of checked out, which there's no indication that he is, but if he's, being shopped for trades or and such, that's a massive loss for this Raiders offense that's really, really struggled so far in 2025. An ex-Raider and an ex-Wolfpacker who has moved teams since the start of the season, Jermaine Pratt, the linebacker, found a home in Indianapolis, and he's set for his second game wearing the blue horseshoe, and it is a big one against the Los Angeles Chargers. The Colts looking to move to 6-1 with a win, pick up their second win on the road of the season. Pratt played pretty well in his debut against the Cardinals, had 9 tackles. This is a team that needed some depth at linebacker, and Pratt is a career, solid player. Just didn't work out in Las Vegas, and it looks like he's found a home in Indianapolis. He returned to his defensive coordinator from Cincinnati in Lou Anarumo, and can he earn a permanent role? That's the question because you add a guy like this, sometimes he gets that first game, that debut bump, and then things sort of get off the rails a little bit. Can he work his way to a more consistent spot in this Colts defense as they make a push towards the postseason in a pretty weak AFC South overall? And Pratt could be a really, really valuable addition for them moving forward. Moving on to Carolina, Ike Ekwonu, the Wolfpack standout offensive lineman, will try to keep Bryce Young upright and get the Panthers another win. It would be their third win in a row. When was the last time you said that about Carolina football? Um, Unfortunately, this is one on the road, and Carolina has really struggled on the road so far this season. 0-3 outside of Bank of America Stadium so far. But if they can keep Bryce Young upright, which starts with the star tackle, the Panthers have a shot against the winless New York Jets, one of the worst teams in the NFL. Really, really struggling. They know that this is a winnable game for them if they play well, which they haven't proven that they can all season. So if Carolina can continue this hot stretch and get a win, they're in the playoff hunt, which is just bizarre to think about. But the way the league has kind of shaken out so far this season with all the injuries and such, there's going to be some odd members of the postseason picture throughout the season, and Carolina could be one of those teams. Obviously, not all of your Wolfpack pros. Anthony Belton's still looking for playing time. He's the rookie from NC State on Green Bay, offensive lineman. Hasn't quite gotten his opportunity yet, but he is trying to break into that team and try. He's played in 3 games, limited snaps, trying to get that opportunity. Hasn't quite worked out yet. But those are kind of your key guys this week from NC State. We shall see how it turns out for them. And as always, if you want more NC State content, you can feel free to follow our social media feeds. You can find me at Senate Tucker on X. You can find the website at Wolfpack on SI on X. And you can find daily episodes of the NC State Insider Podcast on the Sports Videos on SI YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.